All right, so the patch is live, so now we can check out the patch notes and see what's going down for the Tuesday of the 17th. Let's see, we got the new Green Lantern comic, which we're about to get into here in a moment, part 2, of course. Regions are now live. Players can now connect to servers closer to their location. Okay. From my understanding, it's like North America, South America, Europe, and Japan, I think, are the regions. So, I mean, that's good, though. At least there's different regions, so then that way the service will be a lot better. Maybe that's why there were some slight server issues yesterday, because they were trying to work on it. Don't know, but we shall see. Let's see. If polymorph is used on a recruit with lethal, the lethal icon will not carry over to the new recruit. Okay. If you have two Madame LaFays on the board, the second spell's ability enemy. Excuse me. The second spell's ability animation will not be cut short. Yeah, it's I think we had one game where we did something like that, and it was just a little weird the way that it looked, but overall it worked out. Ladama no longer takes away aura on the opponent's recruits, even if the ability conditions have not been met. I knew this happened, but I made sure not to exploit it, because I know that like if you just played Ladama and she wasn't working, she would still act like she was working for the enemy aura units. And there's been times where I could have exploited that, but I was like, nah. But yeah, you know, bugs like that just kind of, especially when you know it's a known bug, like it should not work like that. And a lot of the times Ladama is so valuable that you don't want to play her just to pop auras. You'd rather play her to kill everything. Players can now cancel their placement of Mordru. That helps Mordru out. Mordru is the card that if you play him, sacrifice I think 5 attack or more in order to get magical spells for the end of the turn. And now you don't, if you accidentally place him, we're like, oh no, and then he kills himself. Don't have to worry about that. Doomsday's recruit parting shot ability now activates when KO'd. Okay, we actually had that happen to us, which I believe one of my recent videos where we had Doomsday stay at 10 instead of, you know, getting stronger. And then we let the devs know. So looks like that's a good fix. Arkham inmates now gain +2/+2 if Mad Hatter's deploy ability draws the recruit. Guess that wasn't working. I hadn't really been playing a lot of Arkham inmates, let alone Mad Hatter. Chaotic recruits are now unable to attack a Gentleman Ghost. Okay, I guess Gentleman Ghost was in their equation to attack. I'll be honest, I've mainly been the one playing Gentleman Ghost. I haven't really been seeing a lot of other people play Gentleman Ghost. Astral Empowerment will no longer affect the opponent's leaders. I guess you could put it on the enemy leaders. Okay. And Cupid's deploy ability now works if the user has no cards in their hand. Yes, there is an issue that people were unsure whether or not if Cupid was like this was an intended change or not. But come to find out, with the change in deploy where now you can cancel the deploy and put it back in your hand, it messed with a few deploy cards. And one of them being Cupid, that she just wouldn't work if you didn't have a card. I mean, it makes sense that it doesn't work, but the developers have stated that that was a bug and they actually wanted Cupid to be the way that she naturally was. So makes sense. Everything else I think is kind of the same. Issues with animation, visual issues, Ladama animation will no longer trigger if the conditions are not met. Okay. Green Arrow fixes because Green Arrow was having issues in the game. Mr. Pitlick Mischief no longer causes a visual issue to appear every time a player plays a card. I think this also applies to what we had. One time when we played him, I played this card. It literally will proc for every card in your deck. So if you had like 20 cards in your deck, it would just keep flashing over and over for all 20 some odd cards in your deck. And I'm like, okay, this animation is taking a while. So it looks like that's fixed. All right. I mean, that's pretty much it, which honestly, I had said yesterday on stream that I did not expect this patch to be anything outlandish or crazy because they had done something really major in last week's patch. So yeah, this does not surprise me at all. We'll see what comes out next week, if they do intend to do like another light one, or if it ends, you know, bug fixes and such, or if it's going to be a major one. I think unless there's really big call outs, they probably won't, but we shall see. Last week was the Hal Jordan one, and under attack by the controllers, and that's where we got this card. This week, oh, okay. I knew that this would be a card because last week, or when you play the first comic, this exact same card is in there, and when it said pay to give a card in your hand flurry, I was like, that's a card right there. And come to find out, it is. It's almost like they snuck it in, because with it being a red emblem cards are basically cards that are like, oh, this is only for the comic. But then now it's like, hey, it's no longer red emblem. So could there be cards that are coming to the future that we've already have played in the comics before, that they just are like, hey, you know what, this will be a good card, bam, and push it for the live? Definitely not going to play like Kyle Raynar anymore. I normally would, like Green Lanterns would probably play like maybe one Kyle Raynar, but I think Guy Gardner would be a lot better. I mean, at least the fact that if you're going to play Green Lanterns, I think this is an okay card to put in. I mean, able to get something flurry and the chance to give, you know, maybe something you procced with high damage, or even Kilowog. Like Kilowog with flurry or something, because you're going to even play Kilowog to buff all the other ones. All right. An emote that looks like he's scared. DC Dual Force is now on Steam. It just released. All right, so for those that are trickling in, yes, DC Dual Force is now on Steam. So look at that. So now you can tell your friends, they're like, hey, get in. So now you don't have to tell them to go to the DC Dual Force website. They'd be like, hey, it's on Steam. And it's, as it says, free to play. There you go. And it just got released. So nice. Yeah, a lot of people are just getting the notification. So apparently that's the second part of today's patch. I guess they really wanted to push that out. So that's good for them. First, let's take a look at the emote. Let's see if it's gonna be a good one or if it's just gonna just kind of go by the wayside. This is the other one.
Show no fear.
Okay, and then
We're gonna need a bigger core.
what?
We're gonna need a bigger core.
Okay, yeah, it is like a scaredy cat one. I don't know about that. I mean, I can understand that if it's someone does a crazy play, then you're like, oh snap. But we already have like better ones. Even this one's better.
Nice shot.
Shoot, Harley is better than that one. Another Green Lantern is now here on the books. Let's look at the deluxe. I guess it's all right. The deluxe of it's all right. But yes, if I mean, if you're really into the Green Lantern stuff, I mean, it is, I guess, a good addition. The fact that it gives flurry. It's a 5/4, which is all right. Kilowog, of course, is still probably it's the best, along with John Stewart. Because John Stewart, of course, directly doing damage to the board and Kilowog buffing everything. This is heavily on buffing, like, something, having another Green Lantern in hand. I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, they pretty much have most of the other Green Lanterns that give a keyword of some sort or a buff. The only one that would be like speed, but I think that would be way too broken if they had a Green Lantern that gives something speed. Yeah, I mean, if you like the Green Lantern package, she definitely would fit into that role. We'll try to see if we can make a Green Lantern deck and kind of go from there and kind of get a feel for it. Because it felt like previously when I made the Green Lantern decks, it felt like we would have maybe too many of the silvers. Like you put in so many Green Lanterns, it gets to the point that it's like, man, I gotta take away some of the Green Lanterns. Because I used to just put one of Kyle, but now with Guy Gardner, probably just don't put Kyle in at all. But we'll take a look and see what we can do here. Personally, I think he's, as a card, I think it's okay. It's just normal. But as a Green Lantern card, I think it's like, it's a, you know, I guess a good fit for the Green Lantern package. However good that is going to be. Yeah, I don't think he basically breaks the Green Lanterns to where now, like, oh my god, Green Lanterns are like everything, in any and everything, and they're the most broken. It looks fine to me. But we'll see how it goes.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.